The goggles are in my mouth, and I just wish I knew this one thing, and it would have completely saved me from any of that happening. How do you keep your goggles on when diving in? This is a great question. Thank you, Stuart from Facebook. Now, this is one of the most devastating things that can happen to you in a race or even just diving in for a workout. It's your goggles coming off. I remember when I was a kid growing up, I was 12, Summer League championships. My goggles fell off my face and into my mouth. It's a 50 breaststroke. I do the pull out. I almost end up in the lane next door, and I just pop up. I think I hit the lane line on my way off the pull out, and I had no idea where I was, no goggles. The goggles are in my mouth, and I just wish I knew this one thing, and it would have completely saved me from any of that happening. And that one thing is just being consistent with the equipment that you use. I know it's a boring response, but the reality is the reason why those goggles fell off my face is because it was the first time that I ever wore those goggles. So if you're consistent, you have goggles that you use all the time, that's literally half of the challenge. So make sure you can tighten your goggles. They start to conform to your face the more times that you use them, and you just get more comfortable with them. So that way when you dive in, it doesn't feel unnatural. Now, even if you've been wearing your goggles a long time, you've tightened them like crazy, they can still potentially fall off your face, and I've been victim to this tragedy as well. So I empathize with you if this continues to happen, so make sure you stay paying attention to this. What you can do, a few different options when it comes to your goggles and your swim cap. So if you put your goggles under the cap, that might keep them a little bit more stable. Some people prefer to put the goggles over the cap. It's fair to experiment with both depending on your hairstyling, how much hair you have, if you have hair at all. These are different variables that you want to consider that some people actually forget about when it comes to keeping your goggles on when you dive in. Now, of course, you probably already tightened them. You probably already tried the goggles above the cap or below the cap. And that's totally okay if the goggles are still falling off, because what I'm gonna recommend is truly innovative. You might need to get a different pair of goggles. I know I'm crazy, but the reality is there are plenty of goggles out there on the market that are used by millions of swimmers all over the world, and trust me, they work. I've used a lot of them. Some of them are better than others, and so maybe for the confines of your face, you might wanna try out a few different pairs of goggles that are custom fitted for your face, and maybe we'll link a few options down below. If you guys thought that was useful, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and let me know what other questions you have down below. Wish you the very best and happy swimming. Peace.